You mute yourself.
Okay. So now what we seen till now is we created the purchase order. We also set up the posting profile. Now we will do the next transaction which actually post the journals, that is the product receipt and the product invoice. So let's come to the purchase order screen. So this is the JOLF, and in JOLF we have the purchase orders. So in these purchase orders, all these purchase order status is confirmed and these are open orders. So I just take one of the first purchase order, click here, and we go to the product receipt. So now as a test, I have just posted one receipt which is of out of 50 quantity, I just received 10 quantity. So I created one product receipt. So let's create one more product receipt here. So go to the product receipt here. This is the button product receipt. Let me make it more clear. So let's cancel it. I will just make the little bit bigger pixel so that it will be easily understandable. This is the one. Now you go to the table, go to the orders, okay, and go to this purchase order, and then you see this is the order, and then go to the receive, and then go to the product receipt. In product receipt, if you look here now, I said I already received 10. So now there should be only 40 is remain. Okay. So only 40 is remain. So let me make another receipt. So receipt number is mandatory. So that is the invoice number actually. And then the product receipt date. So on which date you are receiving this material. If you received the material yesterday's date, you put yesterday's date. And this is the document date, which is actually the invoice date. The invoice which is generated, and it is there on the invoice or the delivery challan. And if there is any change in the delivery payment term than the purchase order, you need to change here. Otherwise, you don't need to change any payment term or something. And then this is the header, and then here line details, you will see all items. Out of that, how many items received in this invoice, that you have to tag, and rest of the items you have to remove. For example, this invoice contain only 15 items. So you have to change here as a quantity. Instead of order quantity is 50 and received quantity is 15. Okay. So now you received only 25 quantity. So remaining will be 25. The amount will change automatically. You have to match this amount with this invoice number, and then you can go to the details if there is any more details you wanted to, like these are all details. What is the reminder and all is fine. Purchases, is there anything? So this is your purchase order number, it should be match, and then that's it. So go to the OK button. So everything is OK now, and then you say OK. So this will post your product receipt. So when you post the product receipt, what will happen? Your inventory will up. So now your inventory will be up by the 15 quantity. So whatever the earlier quantity 10 and then now 15. So you should have 25 quantity in your on hand list. So just check this inventory is up or not. So just click on this item, and then here in inventory, let's see what is the status of the inventory. So here I can see that in this site number 0, warehouse number 1, I can see there is a 25 is a physical inventory available. Okay. So we have 3 sites, 3 warehouses, but only one warehouse is updated with the 25 quantity which is received now. And once you do this, you will also see the ledger posting. So for ledger posting, you have to go to the product receipt here. This is journal. Go to the product receipt. Now till now, as I said, I received one and another one I created now. So this is the first one. The order is same. Invoice number is different. Date is different. So date here you see the voucher. So you can see the voucher here when the product receipt happened. So it is not yet invoice. So it's a accrual purchase. So it's a vendor accrual product receipt is their description. Accrual purchase is your credited and your inventory clearing receipt but not invoice. This account will be posted. Okay. We'll see the details about these accounts later. So now your receipt is done. So now at this time, your vendor is not impacted. If you see here inventory and purchase accrual, your vendor balance is not updated. Okay. Now we will do the invoice for this receipt only. To close this, also check the posting for this account. See the voucher. Same account will be hit and the amount will be changed as per the quantity. Okay. Now product receipt is happened. Now let's go for the invoicing. Like receipt, you go here and you do the product receipt here, and then receipt journal will be here. Same, you go to the invoice now and then go to the invoice. This is the invoice button. Click on the invoice. Okay. In the invoice tab, what I can see, there are two invoices, which is one is pending, one is new. So this we need to delete this both first. Okay. Why it is creating two, I don't know. Just remove these all invoices pending and all. Go back again. We don't want any risk of posting the wrong invoice. So I just come back again. We start the invoice here. Okay, so now it's all, there is no pending invoice and all. What it shows that 25 quantity, because there were two receipts. So what we can do, we can go to the invoice identification. This is the invoice number. So now if we want to invoice both the receipt at one invoice, suppose we receive two challans, but the invoice is only one for 25 quantity. So then you can have only one invoice for all 25 quantity. But if you have the invoice based on the receipt, so you have to update according to receipt only, not by the so whatever invoice appears, whatever the value appear in the invoice, that exact you have to post. So go to the invoice and put the invoice number, invoice description, invoice for this item, and for whatever 25 quantity, what are the details you want to put here for your identification. Here you can see the multiple receipts are captured here. Invoice date is as per the invoice document. If it is today's date, just or yesterday's date, just see that. And then you see the item, the quantity, rate will appear automatically. And this is the multiple receipts are there. Then in the details of invoice, you can have multiple options like what are the product, is the site warehouse is correct or not. If there is any tax involved, you can update the tax here. If this go to the product and see your site and warehouse should be perfect, site is clear, warehouse is correct. Then delivery reminder will be the remaining quantity, and then your price and discount will contain the price. If there is any discount, it will display discount here, and then dimension finally. So by default we have no dimension, but if it is there is dimension involved, you can update the dimension. Once everything is fine, you go ahead and then post this invoice. So you can check the totals before you posting. Go to the totals, check everything is fine. This subtotal should be matched. It should be matched. All the taxes, charges, if it is there, you should match. Discount should be matched. And then you, if everything is fine, you close this and then post. So this is the posting. Click on the post. So invoice matching validation has not been performed. One. Then more invoices. You must update the match rule. Okay. So match product receipt. If it is matching, then this is the 125. This all this is tick karo, and then this if it is fine, just say okay and update the match status. If everything is fine, if it is updated, then try to invoice again, post it again. Okay, so vendor invoice is posted now. Again, similarly, we will see the journal here. Go to the invoice, and this invoice is journal created for 25 quantity. See the voucher. Now it is not yet journalized. So here, as I said earlier, you go to this journal module, journal ledger module, and then if it is not journalized or posted, just click on this journalizing and just say okay. It will post all the pending receipts or invoices. Okay, we don't need to see the report, just say cancel and again check here and then see, refresh the screen. It's not yet posted. Let's go to the sub ledger posting also. Where is that screen? Go to this option and then go to the journalizing. Sub-ledger journal entry is not yet posted. Just click on that because it's vendor related. So this is the invoice which is pending. So transfer now. So now this is transfer. So it should be now available here. Okay. You see here now this account is posted. Now we will understand this posting later. Before that, you just understand that one more important part is your vendor must be credited and item must be debited. So your vendor account will be the this one, okay, vendor invoice, which is a vendor balance account, accounts payable domestic, which is your posting profile account. As per your posting profile account, this is credited, okay, and ultimately your item is debited. So now inventory clearing received and received invoice. So this one account, this account is your actual account, raw material receipt. So these two accounts are impacted and others all should be nullified. That if you see here, you will see this is debit credit will be nullified and This is the ultimate impact. So we will go in details about this posting in the next class. You have to post these invoices now. So what you will do, you will create some receipts for your all the purchase orders, make a partial receipt, make a partial invoice, and once it is fully invoiced, this status of open will be converted to the invoiced. Okay. So now if you go here again and then go to the receipt, product receipt, remaining 25 quantity, you can go. So this is the receipt number again. Now I will just select all 25 quantity. Say OK. So your receipt will be posted. So after receipt, you go to the invoice, So your remaining 25 quantity we will process now. So this is the product receipt number and this is the invoice number. If it is same, 8772. I'm not putting any description, just invoice date is mandatory, so I'm putting the invoice date. Quantity is fully received now, remaining all are okay. So just go to the totals, check this invoice number matches with this amount and then post it. So again you need to match these things, so click on this match product receipt, just say update, this is ticked, and then you should say OK or update is just select this receipt and then say OK. This is tagged and now update this. Once is updated, there is no error, then go to the post and posting will happen. Once you post, go to the sub-ledger entry, just check if there is any pending. This is the pending one, just transfer now. Now you can see here your voucher is created. Go to the invoice journal and this is the journal for next journal and this is the voucher. Okay, and this is the voucher for this journal. Both are similar because 25 quantity. And now your status of purchase order should be invoiced. If you look here, this is the invoice now. Okay, so the status is invoice. So can you create these receipts and invoice cycle for few more invoices? Okay,